Good afternoon, thanks for joining us. I'm Holly and you're watching Kalkine TV live from Sydney. This is the last show of the day at the last trade. The Australian stock market faces a volatile week off the back of Wall Street jitters over the potential sooner than expected interest rate rises and concern over the Omicron variant if it will set back the fight against COVID-19. However, despite a tech plunge and starting the week on a positive note, the ASX 200 closed up just 3.90 points. Over the last 5 days, the index is virtually unchanged but has gained 9.99% over the last year to date. 7 of 11 sectors ended higher, with utilities being the best performer, gaining 2.06% and 1.02% for the past 5 days. In the stocks section, well, Metcash was the top performer today and its shares were up 7.3% after they unveiled a very pleasing first half for both the company and their independent retailers. Group revenue was up 1.3% to 7.2 billion Australian dollars. Then the next company, Silver Lake Resources, rose as well 5%. Other top gainers include APA Group, Evolution Mining and Gold Road Resources. Then on the flip side, Zipco fell a whopping 9.7%. In the red as well was Nearmap, PointsBet, Kogan.com and Redbubble. Now starting with a bunch of newly listed stocks, Australian Bond Exchange and Larvotto Resources will not have enjoyed their first day on the ASX, with both stocks falling upon debuting. However, Newmark Property REIT edged higher on its debut session after raising $128.3 million. Meanwhile, pharmaceutical wholesale operator Sigma has downgraded its earnings guidance, predicting earnings would be down by 10% compared to last year. The company blames a tough transition into a new enterprise resource planning system, which rolled out in August, but had several teething issues and resulted in an increase in operating costs for the half. The company's shares traded in the red zone today. And Oil Search has finally received the green light from Papua New Guinea's Securities Commission to proceed with the Santos merger. The scheme will see the two companies form a $21 billion oil producer. Oil Search now requires approval from the independent CCC shareholder at tomorrow's meeting, as well as court approval. And tech giant Afterpay will hold a shareholder vote as to whether to accept a $39 billion takeover bid from Square next Monday. The meeting was postponed last week due to a delay in regulatory approval. The merger, which is expected to receive a shareholder support, has already been endorsed by Square's shareholders. The companies are waiting on regulatory approval from the Bank of Spain as well. Now it's time for a short break, but don't go anywhere because we have more news coming right up.
Property by Kalkine. Looking for a dream home? Well, that may sound easy, but it isn't. And from looking for a property that is the right fit for you in terms of cost and other factors, to zeroing down on the right mortgage plan, there are various aspects to consider. And for the latest lowdown on the property market, tune in on Kalkine TV with me, Sage. I will give the latest updates on the property market as well as real estate stocks to help you make the right decision. Keep watching Property with Kalkine.
Welcome back to Kalkine TV. You're watching The Last Trade. Now that we know the stance back home, let's move on to the global market performance. Well, the international forecast for the Asian markets is negative upon the coronavirus and economic concerns, with oil and tech stocks likely to lead the way lower. European and US markets finish solidly underwater as the Asian markets are expected to open in a similar fashion. Stocks in the eastern region traded mostly lower, with lingering worries over a US rate hike, partly offset by potential positive news on the severity of the Omicron coronavirus variant. The The MSCI's index of Asia-Pacific shares outside Japan was down by 0.45%. Japan's Nikkei fell 0.7% and Shanghai's composite was up 0.94% as the Hang Seng fell slightly too. Last Friday, though, the Dow shed 0.17%, while the Nasdaq plummeted 1.92% and the S&P 500 lost 0.84%. Then the crypto world witnessed turbulence last week as well after another variant of the virus had emerged. Bitcoin's price went near $49,000 on Monday after a sharp plunge during the weekend. The world's prominent crypto fell 0.15% over the last few hours to just over $49,000. Cryptocurrencies started their plummet on Friday as the stocks pulled back and investors fled to the safety of treasuries on Wall Street. Bitcoin at the moment is down about 30% from its all-time high of $69,000 achieved earlier in the month. Although Ether, on the other side, recovered the loss of the weekend and rose slightly today. Binance Coin, Tether, Solana as well were all in red. Well, that's a wrap for today on The Last Trade. I hope you found the market closing commentary informative. We'll be back tomorrow live from City at 9:30 a.m. in the morning. This is Holly Shield signing off.